Feels good to be me. Every time I breathe, everywhere I go, and I always know that I'm always me. Feels good to be free. Have the world at my feet. Everywhere I go, and I always...
We're rolling.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome to No Pill Friday with Danny Dunn, our co-host and referee, and Audrey Stewart, and that's me, and Brett.
And our guest, Brett.
And
Wow.
Brett Dodenhoff.
Close.
Is that really what you think his last name is?
I think I knew your last name ever.
I could tell in the intro there. I
You
said
like-
she's going to stall out and hopefully just intro myself.
Wait, because
Brett.
so Brett's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian, but you literally...
I'm Brett the Lorax.
Yeah,
online.
Brett. I thought
That's
his
my
last name was
online
Lorax.
persona.
Brett Lorax.
It's a nickname.
But why Brett the Lorax?
I have no good story there. I know I said I'm going to come
You're
in
off
here
the
with some
pod.
fun
You're done.
stories.
You're done. You're done.
It's the
You're
one I
boring.
need a good story for.
We
and I
called
don't
Brett
have
and
it.
went, "Do you have any good stories?" And he said, "Yes." First
Yeah.
thing you say on the podcast, I have
Don't-
no good
It's
stories.
not a
We
good story.
literally did not. We didn't plan what we were getting. Okay, here's the deal, you guys. Danny, I asked
this-
Danny's
is this
already
sparkling
been my
water?
co-host, so I guess it's not news to you guys. But I just said, do you want to be the co-host?
Yeah.
But he's still the referee as well, because we need the referee.
Audrey texted me last night and asked if I wanted to be an official co-host of this podcast.
So it's a promotion.
But I was drunk and I regret it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was blacked out and I didn't remember it till I saw the story. And I wish I never said shit.
Mhm. But
But
here we
we
are.
are. Can't go
Alas,
back on your
here
word,
we
Mom
are.
says.
Mom does say that.
So I'm the backup guest.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
no,
Where
no,
are you
no.
getting that from?
We don't even have a guest. We never called in a
I'm-
guest.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're our first choice for guest today.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Because it's
You
Halloween.
guys like the last minute call.
Well,
Yeah, we called Brett about an hour ago.
we called Brett literally 30 minutes ago while we were eating food that is kind of coming back up a little bit.
Audrey and I, as everyone knows at this point, both have severe ADHD. So our meetings, when we meet up to talk about this podcast, it's just us like eating kava and Audrey watches videos on her phone while I like look around.
And then I roast Danny occasionally, tell him what he needs to be doing.
How did the conversation go? We're going to get Brett on the podcast today.
Audrey's like, "I don't have anything planned for today." I was like,
And then you called me.
I was like, "I think we should call Brett," and we called Brett.
I was literally, I think.
But then you were the first person that talked, and I think Brett thought I was doing a lady voice.
No, I knew it was you because it's Tuesdays. You guys record on
we
Tuesdays.
record on Tuesday.
Yeah,
You
you
co-host.
were on it. You
I
didn't
co-host
even,
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, well.
I was on. I knew it was
I
you.
was gonna,
But I also didn't want to say, "Hey, Audrey," because in case it wasn't you,
yeah,
or I didn't want to give Danny the satisfaction of having that good of an
I
impression.
could have just been some of his side piece.
Yeah, it's possible.
Do you feel like you don't want to give me good me satisfaction ever?
Wow,
Wait,
we're
what
diving
is
in here.
happening?
Do you?
Right,
All right, well,
introduce
do your Woodrow
Wait.
Wilson impression. We love it. Come on.
Wait, these are all
Hello,
jokes.
America.
These are all jokes these are callback jokes that were said off the pod.
Yeah, but this is pre-record.
Who am I talking to?
These would
Who's
kill,
really
though.
listening?
Pre-record.
These would-
Who's
murder.
really fucking listening?
wait.
Who's fucking listening? Comment right now, because I don't feel like anyone is listening.
Audrey, say something.
I'm just kidding.
Say something crazy to see if people are listening.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, and if you are
Yeah.
listening, write this in the comments below. But every time I say comment below, it's just me commenting on our own video going, woo! So I'm sick of doing that by myself.
I didn't follow that.
So
You're
here's
asking
what I'm
people to
gonna say.
comment below.
Comment this.
But there's no proof that there's no tag you
Yeah,
gave them.
sometimes I'll leave. This is an example. I do this to my friends too. I'll leave them a voicemail because I know they don't listen to my voicemails. I'll say, hey, how is it? Like, how are you?
Hey, how is
There
it?
was a pregnant kangaroo and it shat all over my face. And if you got that message, you will impregnate me and tell me now. And then they'll call back and be like, hey, got your message. Like, what did it say again? I'm like,
Have you ever thought
But
about
you
like
do
you know-
you just like talk like that.
what if it's the
So
boy who
I
cried
can
wolf?
imagine
Though?
it's like people are desensitized to it.
Like one day that actually happens to you, and it's like, oh, Audrey's
And you
leaving
get
her
shit on
pregnant
by-
kangaroo
You
shit
get shit
message,
on by a
and you're like, no, I'm
kangaroo.
covered in kangaroo shit,
Yeah.
and I'm pregnant. Is it?
Do you think you've gotten to the point we've all gotten? Do you think first of all, we need to introduce you because
No.
Wait,
I already
hold on,
butchered
hold on.
my-
If you're listening to this podcast right now, order key lime pie from the Cheesecake Factory.
Tell no one.
Tell no one.
Ask for Glenn.
Ask for Glenn at the
Ask for
Cheesecake
Glenn.
Factory. Order an entire key lime pie, and that's how we will know.
And
who's
we'll
listening to
know.
this podcast.
We're gonna check the sales of key lime pie at Cheesecake Factory.
Wow.
See if there's a little bump.
It'd be. It's a shame that we're all
Ask-
recent stockholders of Cheesecake
We
Factory.
can't disclose that.
that is so fucking funny. Ask for Blend.
Ask for
Glenn?
Just- oh, and he
Glenn?
said- That's what I I
Hey,
said.
make sure you ask for blend.
blend.
Ask for blend, and they're gonna go, huh? We have a blend.
Yikes.
All right, you guys
Hey,
are
is
crazy.
blend there? What?
Well, here's the thing about Brett Donovan.
She still haven't even got it right.
Guys, on the podcast today
I don't
is
even know my
Brett.
own girlfriend's last name.
Dodenhoff.
Is Brett Dodenhoff?
I'm getting a stage name soon anyway.
Okay,
so this
Brett,
is,
tell
this
us
is the
who you
old
are.
name.
What's
Who
your
are
stage
you?
name gonna be?
My state. It's oh god.
What's the
It
stage
goes back and
Do
forth.
you want to
between
unveil it now?
Bob English.
Bob English.
Bob
Yeah.
English.
My middle names. I have two middle names.
Bob English is your middle
Robert English, short
wait.
for Bob English.
What if it was Bobby English?
or Brett
name? Wait,
English?
Bobby English.
Probably Brett English. I don't think I need to change
Bobby
first.
I
English
like
is
Bobby
pretty damn
English.
good.
I
Am
like
I
Bobby
in the
English
frame?
a lot.
But there's no Bretts on the scene right now.
Oh, is there a Bobby?
Brett,
It-
isn't there a Brett Furtard or something? Furtard.
You don't know anyone's name.
You don't know.
Okay, hey.
I
on the
don't know any-
podcast-
If
on
he's a
the-
listener, comment.
Yeah, if Brett
If you're Brett Farcher,
order a key lime pie, ask for blend. On the podcast today is Brett Dodenhoff, a stand-up comedian in L.A., also a rising TikTok star.
Oh yeah,
Also-
he's viral on TikTok.
Also a dear friend of ours.
no longer right. I'm a floundering TikTok star
No,
now.
that's what happens.
That's what-
TikTok gets intimidated by the new creators. They don't want to pay y'all out because you're in the creators fund,
Pay
right?
y'all
Should I get out of the
out.
creators fund? Is that what's hurting me?
No, stay in that shit because they won't last for long. Eventually, you'll get out of it and you'll keep making money. and
That's
money
true.
and
It's
money.
true.
Money.
Stay in that creators fund.
Brett is a comedian,
in that
and
pocket.
he's
Getting
very
mixed
funny.
reviews on whether or not to stay. But listen,
Your videos get millions and millions of views and hits.
occasionally.
And he says, okay, so we call him today and we said, because this is a podcast, we're still trying to figure out the thing of the podcast, but mainly it's been ADHD, and we are just ADHD doing whatever the fuck we want. And that's so far. And we
Well,
asked
usually
you,
our guests have ADHD, and
But
we'll talk to them about their experience.
you
with it.
said to us, you said, I went to the doctor, and they said I had reversal ADHD.
I have the opposite of ADHD.
Which is
There's
what?
it's not a diagnosis, the clinical term for it. All they told me is you have the exact reverse and opposite.
Did they say expand on that?
Yeah.
What
oh
does
yeah.
that mean?
All right. So basically, they give you there's a long story on why I needed this, but I tried to prove in college that my brain was incapable of learning another language because I didn't want to take my requirement because I had to take Chinese.
That seems harder.
It does
to
seem
prove.
harder,
That
and it
seems harder
also
to prove than to learn
Requirement.
Chinese.
so I go
Sorry.
Requirement. Okay, so you don't want to learn Chinese. Who's making you learn Chinese?
the school you got to fulfill a language requirement.
'Kay.
And I did Spanish, couldn't get through Spanish, got a C, and I had to take another year.
But C is good, passing.
Yeah, for the first year. But I had already taken 5 years of Spanish, and I took elementary. And
Oh, yikes.
On my 5th year, and I still
Maybe
got a
Brett,
C.
I think Brett does have ADHD.
I thought
No. I understand what you're saying because
So
yeah.
yeah, and then I was like, I'm going to go and get. I spoke to the people at BC, and they said, go pay for this test. It's $1,000, but you're gonna get the answer you want. And the woman literally winks at me. She's like, go pay for the $1,000. You'll get out
What
of it.
is going
The
on?
head of our Boston College, whatever the hell, the disability center was like, go pay for this test. You'll be good. Winks at me, and I was like,
You
this
you like loose policies in the disability center.
So I have to call my mom and be
Oh,
like,
lift up that rug. I just got to sweep some stuff under it.
I couldn't believe it. The wink, and I was like, oh, I was like, I've never connected with someone more in my life. She's got my back. So I go pay for this test.
That happened to me at the DMV one time.
Someone had your back. Did they
Yeah.
actually have your back?
Yeah, my brother had to sign a form, but my brother lived in China. And I'm like, he lives in China. And she's like, or maybe he's in the parking lot. And I was like, you're right. Maybe he's in the parking
Maybe
lot.
he's That's so
And then I went and signed it. Okay.
I love that.
Or
When
maybe.
he-
I was
He's in
like,
the
Wait, I
fuck,
love
was
when
like-
people have each other's backs like that.
Yeah, it was great.
I
Okay.
hate the narcs that are just like, no. It's like, what's wrong with you? What's it
Yeah.
really gonna do to your life to follow the rules?
You don't
know?
own the DMV.
Yeah, narcs.
Maybe she does.
Maybe she does.
Maybe she
she's
does.
Mrs. DMV. Okay, so you get a wink from the disability lady.
Yeah, and then I go to a psychiatrist, and it's I got to take a full day off of classes. It's a 10-hour exam. They do all these things. They hand me little blocks, and I'm playing around with these little blocks. I felt like getting an X-Men or something, where they're like doing all these tests on me. And then they get to the one, and I was trying to figure out which one of these do I purposely botch, and I didn't know which one. So then they have the one where you come and you got to press a space bar every time you see an X.
And
That's the
was Ian
ADHD
McKellen
test.
there?
Yes.
'Kay.
Ian McKellen was there.
Ian
Who's
McKellen
Ian
was there.
McKellen?
The guy who played Gandalf. Oh, I get what you're
Because he's
saying.
an X-Men.
Because he's an X-Men.
It was about 15 seconds too late.
And I thought it was a Gandalf reference too. I forgot that he was
I was gonna say-
Magneto.
Magneto.
I was gonna say Patrick Stewart, but I couldn't think of his
I feel
name.
like I need to
Stewart
watch
would've been
X-Men. I haven't seen it.
Jennifer Lawrence would have worked.
Jennifer Lawrence, but I don't think you would have put
She
that
cries
together.
too much.
You
There's
would've
that
thought-
one
you would've
guy
thought
who's in
lovely
Wanted, Twist the Bullet guy, was also an X-Men.
James-
Played a young Professor X.
James
Corden. No.
James Corden.
Well, James Corden. That's why I didn't watch Cats.
James, if you're
he
listening,
looked terrified in Cats.
Hey, James Corden, you're welcome to come on No Pill
Wait,
Friday
James Corden, you're
anytime you
welcome,
want.
and I will do stand up on your.
Do you think? Do you guys think I look like James Corden?
You know, you look like Prince
You
Harry.
look like James Corden in Cats.
Prince Harry. You look like
Yes.
Prince Harry.
I don't,
All right.
but I
Wait,
talk
keep
like
going.
him.
Are we all doing celeb lookalikes
So,
right now?
Brett, what happened to you?
Brett, tell
That's
us.
how Prince Harry would ask.
I do the damn test, and I think I'm butchering it, so I'm pressing it so quickly. All right, finally I get my results. I come in the next
Wait,
day.
what's the thing you're pressing?
It's a space bar every time you see an X.
Oh yes.
And you don't.
Yes,
yeah.
I did that too.
Yeah.
I
I've
did
done
that
it-
too.
I've
Yeah,
done it
I
all
did
That's
that
the
too.
official test, and I think I botched it perfectly. I sit down. She goes, "Not only do you not have ADHD, which is what would prove you wouldn't be able to learn a language here, you have the opposite. You have hyperattention." And I was like, apparently, I was so on the X's that I was like too intense.
No.
Yeah. So I guess
like, you need to chill out.
I have intense focus. The complete opposite. Yeah.
So you should be excelling in your language classes.
She literally goes, and that means, and she goes, in the nicest way I can say it, you seem lazy and you have depression.
Not you going in for a test where you hit a space bar and then saying you're lazy and you have depression.
What a 1-2 punch.
For $1,000.
She goes, but
You're lazy and you have depression. Now pay us.
Now pay up.
she goes, which I
Money.
didn't ask to this.
Money.
She goes, you're incredible at math, and I had no idea I was good at math.
Really?
She goes, you're in the top percentile.
Brett,
Oh my God.
like, what is?
She insulted me, called me lazy, and then goes like, "You're also a math boy
You're also
genius."
a genius.
You're a math
Yeah,
boy genius.
you are a boy
Hey,
genius at
surprise, you're
mathematics.
also a
Shout out the band Boy
genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
Did you know you had depression at the time?
She
Or did
said
you
it,
just
and I
think-
had to be like, "What?"
Or
But
did-
I knew.
You're like, I am the happiest I've ever been.
She's like, "I'm sure this is like just a phase in your life where it's not going to be like." She's like, "So I don't want to diagnose it now."
A
And I'm like,
lifelong
phase in my life.
phase.
I felt like this my entire life. And she's like, "I'm sure college is crazy, so we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it an adjunct personality thing. You'll get through it." 7
And-
years later.
I am dead by that.
This is. Let's unpack this a little bit.
Everybody has something, I guess, and if you have nothing, then what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So what happened after this?
So-
did you keep having to take Chinese?
No, so this was to get out of Spanish.
Also, did your depression ever go away?
Yeah. Also, are you still sad? you make some weird TikToks about your stepdad.
I do, yeah.
That's
A lot of-
alarming.
Brett, you
There's some themes in my TikToks
There's some
which are
stepdad stuff.
shocking.
That
Brett, are you still sad?
Hey, let's all go around. Scale of 1 to 10. How sad?
Let's. Oh man, I got it too. Let's all say something that we like about Brett, so he's less sad.
I'm really good at math.
It's
I
fun.
like that you giggle at yourself.
Audrey,
I do. I'm my
Audrey, do you
biggest
have to-
audience.
Do
No,
you
I
have-
love that. I giggle.
do you have depression?
I have exhaustion.
That's true.
That's
Wait, I
part
think
of
I
it,
do
guess.
have depression. Yeah.
Do you actually have depression?
I don't. I've never been clinically diagnosed, but I get sad.
Who's your favorite band?
Yeah, that's a good way to tell.
Yikes! Mumford and Sons.
Ooh.
Mumford.
That's depression on
Ooh,
a
that's
stick.
yeah.
That is all the songs.
depression.
That's
That's
depression on a stick.
That's depression in a bar.
The
chord.
clinical diagnosis: depression on a stick.
And that's depression on a stick. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I go through like really. I think with stand-up you go through the highs of the highs, and then it sucks. And as soon as you get off stage, you crash. It's weird.
But are you just talking about like ebbs and
God.
flows of happiness?
I think so. I don't really know. I've never.
How would
not,
you define depression?
Oh God, this. I've really taken this podcast.
I
a
know.
turn here.
I literally were like, we're gonna have fun and tell stories, and then we're like, do you have fucking
So I
depression?
have-
Audrey doesn't take her ADHD medicine. Brett doesn't take his antidepressants.
True.
And
and,
we
and then
just-
it's a perfect.
we
And
just-
that's what happened.
And we chat.
and we just laugh and cry.
I have depression. Brett has depression. That's why I was curious if you
Wait,
also had depression.
question: if you have depression, like, I think if I've ever been sad,
That's why I was
I
teasing
always
Brett.
know the reason I've been sad. I
Oh.
haven't been unexplainably sad.
Sometimes I'm sad and
Okay.
there's no reason
Yeah, you
for
got
it.
no everything's
Hollow.
going great apparently.
Oh.
People are like, you should be
It's
so
not
happy.
though, because I think
Sorry,
sometimes I
can't.
get like stuck on my phone in the days, or like I compare myself to too many people, and then I get sad, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that's different.
so I guess that's just the industry.
You're not, you're not
I guess
one
that's
of
just
us.
tough luck.
I once had it so bad I couldn't put sentences together.
Okay, wow, that is.
Couldn't
I
put
thought-
Not you
sentences
I
laughing at
thought
that.
I
Not you
couldn't.
literally laughing at that.
I thought I
He
couldn't.
said I was so depressed I couldn't walk.
Well, the problem is I was also convinced I had serious brain damage,
Oh.
and then which turned
For
out
what?
to not be true.
From what?
I thought I drank methanol, like bad moonshine, which can make you go blind. And I was in China, and I thought I drank it. And I went to.
Okay. Okay. You know, I'm supposed to blow this whistle when we get off topic. But to be fair, we've never been on
What is
topic.
the topic?
The topic is, you see that pumpkin right there?
It's Halloween.
The last episode got such good response. Just kidding. Literally, I'm still the only one who commented on it.
No, I had people text me about it.
Okay, people
There you
like
go.
people like. I think what I'm passionate about is stories. I like hearing people's stories.
Yeah. Brett's got some good tales.
I got some.
I want to hear some tales, and it could be scary. It could not. I think with the pumpkin, stick on the Halloween theme. We should hear your stories, but at the end,
Audrey Burbs.
that's our segment, Audrey Burps, but it's not brought to you by Strange. That is
Suja.
also Suja. Anyway, yeah, Strange Beast. Have you
Who's
ever
our
had it?
sponsor?
I knew that.
Is that what
It's
you're
real
asking?
good.
Yeah.
Is Strange Beast our sponsor?
Uh-huh.
Or just your personal sponsor?
I think they
They
just
sponsor
give me
the
a lot.
pod?
I think potentially they do the pod, and then they do myself. But really, they're about to do my gay kickball league because I'm gonna drop off all those beers to them.
Ooh.
We're undefeated, and we almost got out for bad sportsmanship. We'll all talk about it later. However,
I got kicked out of a dodgeball league in freshman year.
wait, really?
What'd you do?
I made a kid so angry. I was a freshman at the time. We were versus a team of seniors, and
Seniors.
I was.
Senior.
I decided we're
You know
gonna.
the type.
My team wasn't good physically, so I started yelling mental. I got in the other team. I got in their head mentally to the point where I.
What kind of stuff were you saying? Is it the
I said,
kind of
"This
stuff that
person's
your brain
like
says to you, and
s-
you just,
Yeah, I
and you
was
just you took all your depression and,
It was
and
unbelievable.
projected it onto
It's my
them?
greatest weapon. I had no idea. But I made them so upset that one of the guys was like, I'm done with this game, and crossed both the metaphorical and physical line and shoved me on the ground and then
Oh, he got out,
burst into
probably.
tears.
no.
You burst into tears?
He did. And then I
For pushing you?
Yeah. He like did it and was so upset and angry.
With
that-
himself?
Yeah, I think I just made him so upset that he like pushed and then cried. You ever like see like your brother like as a young child like hit you and then he cries too?
Yeah.
Did he hit you because he was so, or did he push? Did he cry because he was so frustrated, or did he cry because he was so upset with what he'd done?
He was crying because of his frustration. And they were like, "This guy is the worst person they've ever met."
Oh my
Because
god.
but I wasn't saying like anything like about them like
Look at Danny.
physically?
He doesn't even recognize you anymore.
Who
But
are you?
He doesn't know
me and
you.
me and Brett used to be roommates, and I can tell I've never seen this side of him.
it's well it was a combat situation. They were the enemy, and I got in their head and I go, "Look at her, she's floundering. She has no idea what she's doing." And then I
It was
was
a
like,
girl.
"Well,
It was a girl.
it came
It
down.
was a girl that you were being this mean to.
It was all the whole team. The guy's the one that pushed me." And then
Man.
and then they said, "You're not allowed to play anymore." Because the ref was friends with the
I
guy who
just
pushed me,
love-
and I was like, "You can't allow that." And I started screaming at the ref. I was like, "You just let a guy physically assault me, and you just sat there doing nothing."
Brett, you're the one who got physically assaulted in this story, but you're still coming off like the bad.
I
guy.
know.
That
I
is.
And the thing is, like, on paper, I should be the one that's still playing in the dodgeball league. But if you were
Still
there,
to this day, I should be playing in this.
if you were
in
there,
this college.
it made sense.
Yeah.
I would have pushed me.
100%.
Yeah, I would have kicked me out.
You would have kicked you out.
You ever gotten in a fight? An
Yeah.
actual fight?
Yeah.
For what?
One guy pushed me outside a bar because he misunderstood a situation, and then he was about to get in his Uber with his friend, and I yelled something to him.
You get pushed a lot.
Dude, I get pushed around. He was about to get in the Uber with his friend, and I yelled something to him, and I saw the scariest thing I've ever seen. It was like out of a movie. They like both had their doors open. They both looked up, made eye contact with each other, both shut the doors together, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to get the shit beaten out of me." Start sprinting, and what I should have done, sprinted into the bar because I had friends in there.
Right.
Instead, I sprint away from the bar down the street, and they're both sprinting after me. I lose my shoes, so I'm running in socks. I run down what I think is another street. It's an alleyway. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm about to get beat up in an alleyway.
But this
You
is
know
a
what
scary
else happened
story.
in the
He
alleyway?
says there was
Batman's
no scary.
parents got killed.
That's what happened. So I'm hoping a young Batman's going to save me.
What if I was like, you know what else happened in an alleyway?
What were you going to
No,
say?
never mind. It was too dark.
You got to
wait,
say
hold
it.
Brett Dodenhoff.
Wait, hold on. So you're running down the alley.
Running down the alley.
Two people are in
Two people are in
given
hot
chase.
pursuit, right? One of the heftier guy's not. And he's the one I had insulted. He's slower.
Okay.
And I said, you won't be
And
able
you're
to
pretty
catch me.
fast.
I was fast. But the other guy was on cocaine, I believe.
Oh, then
'Cause-
he's really fast.
Yeah, but I'm running in socks. So what I think is I'm going to, like, because I'm
Well,
in an
you
alleyway,
speaking
I'm
from
like, I
experience,
got to
Audrey?
juke them out.
Yeah. You juke him out.
So I think I'm going to. But
In
because I'm
socks.
running in socks, when I do make the turn, my socks slip out from under me.
No.
And then I slam my head on the concrete.
No, my God.
And I'm assuming this coked up drunk guy is going to have enough
Sympathy for you.
yeah, to be like, oh, he did the job for me. He already basically knocked himself out. So I turn over thinking I'm going to get a reasonable response. And as I turn my face, I get wailed.
No.
Yeah, multiple times.
Just
And
punch in the face.
Punch in the face as I'm like trying to like block, but I'm also slightly concussed. And I was pretty drunk. And he's just wailing on me in the face. And my last thought was like, I'm going to wake up in a coma if I wake up at all. But then the big guy who I had insulted pulled the other guy off. And then we had the most awkward walk back to the bar.
You guys walked back together?
Because it was like we were all walking, and I was just like, "What the hell was that?" And
Hey
I
guys,
started.
wait up. I'm coming
I
with.
was yelling at him like, "Why would you do that to someone?" And like as I'm slowly picking up my shoes as I'm going, and I was walking. Well, yeah,
And you were okay?
Are
I
your
was-
eyes getting watery right now?
maybe.
Are you crying?
I don't think I'm crying.
You are crying.
I don't cry on podcasts.
Wait, he's
It-
crying.
It freaked me
Are you
out.
crying?
Right?
I don't
But
think
you're
I'm
crying a little bit. Your eyes
Maybe.
are a little watery.
Who
I think
knows?
it's just the lights.
I'm a
are
little
bright.
panicked. Are you crying?
No, no, fine.
Are you allergic to pumpkin?
I'm very allergic to pumpkins.
Oh, that's probably it.
So you were okay?
Well, then I was like covered in blood, and then I was worried that I was going to have a bad concussion, but I was okay. But then I thought, this is where my original brain damage comes in. I thought that I had a brain bleed from that night. So for the next year and a half, I thought my brain was slowly bleeding in what's called a subdural hematoma.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So
Why do they have to do that? Why can't you just be like a brain bleed? Why do they like subeternal hematoma?
this is
well,
from
I don't think those
WebMD.
terms are for
What happened
just
to
everyday
me.
people.
No.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Audrey, you ever been in a fight?
not a.
Are you a
fist
hypochondriac,
fight.
Brett?
Severe.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the peak of it, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So I thought
You're a
it was a lie.
hypochondriac?
I think so. In college, I thought I was dying. I still, till this day, I think I have a lump.
Do you have
in my head.
anxiety?
In your head?
I think I have a tumor on my head.
That's see.
I
had that.
I literally drop everything. I drop things because I actually had to go
We
to
should
a
get a
neurologist.
we should get a real doctor for one of our guests.
We should.
Not to talk about other guests in front of you.
For our next guest, let's already discuss
you
our
can
next
come.
guest.
You can come back if you need to ask things. He can give your head a check. But a doctor would be fun.
Well,
We
I
can
told
ask
you
him
I
about
failed
ADHD.
my when I went into my primary care. I failed my motor.
Your motor skills.
Yeah, but here's where it got really fucked up. So I couldn't close my that was fine. But I could not close my eyes and touch my nose. Now I'm doing it fine. It was all messed up. Couldn't balance on my right side, and I get cluster headaches right there.
Yeah.
And then I drop things all the time, and I was dropping them like I still do, but it was like so apparent because I also had COVID. So
What's the
worst?
worst thing you've ever dropped?
Oh fuck! This is actually great. And
If it's a baby.
no,
My first thought
it was a graphic
glass of milk. My
calculator.
second thought was baby.
Yeah, my niece.
A graphic calculator.
I dropped my
A
Brett's
graphic?
knee-
No,
Brett's
but let me
niece.
tell you, the graphic calculator. You dropped your niece.
I dropped Brett's niece.
My niece.
Just kidding.
You dropped Brett.
I dropped Brett, and he landed on
When I was a baby,
on my
though.
knees.
Well,
I was a
we-
baby.
Well,
You
I
were
was
a
a baby
baby.
too, and why was I holding him?
It doesn't make much sense
Yeah.
to pick me up.
It's our
I'm
parents'
sorry, I
fault.
don't know
Audrey
what's going
burps.
on with me today. I
Okay,
barely slept.
you dropped a graphing calculator,
but
and
let me
that's
tell
the
you why I
worst
was.
thing.
No, let me tell you why.
I thought you said graphic, like
I
you
did.
wrote boobs on it. Is that what happened?
Oh no, it was a
I
graphic.
dropped a
I thought you like wrote something like you shouldn't write on a calculator. Remember you could write like hell or boobs.
Yeah.
Dropped it, teach yourself.
Oh no,
That's
it
what
was
it was
worse.
going.
It
I
was
dropped
worse
a
what happened.
perverted
It was
calculator.
worse. I literally, it was worse. I was in. So there's two. We had an ex nun. Our eighth grade math teacher was an ex
Ex-nun.
nun. No eyebrows. Super old. Her name was Mrs.
Ex-nun.
McIntyre, and she was really mean. And
What
she
me-
had a tick, and her tick was okay, 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 okay. She said okay on repeat. And then she would pass out Jolly Ranchers
There's
to
a lot going on
people.
in this story.
She would pass out Jolly Ranchers to
Oh,
people
no.
that would get C's and above on tests, and she loved her graphing calculators. Like, they were her babies. She had them in a special box. She would lay them out. Everyone had to come and collect their number, and she would, like, hand them to it. And she hated me already. There was 2 desks in the very front of the class, and all the rest of the desks were pushed back. And me and Billy McClamrock were in those 2 front
Shout out
desks.
Billy McCrambler.
Billy,
And we were the only
long-time
2.
listener.
Yeah, we love Billy.
Friend of the pod, Billy.
Hey, Billy McClamrock.
You
Enjoy that key lime.
You were a couple episodes ago. Audrey talked about the size of a man's penis on this podcast and named his first and last.
And he
name.
listens.
He's
That wasn't
a
me
listener.
farting. I just
Was it a
I farted,
positive?
I moved it.
Was it a good?
She talked about how small his penis was,
I never saw his penis. That was a joke that I said he had a small penis.
but we didn't emphasize that it was a joke.
and I
we
told
just
his
kept
whole
talking about-
fraternity he had a small penis.
Yeah,
But it was like it was a Greek marriage.
and
I
then
was
she told
roasting him
all.
in my vows.
Then she told all of the
okay.
No Pill Friday listeners that she has a small penis,
which is only like 200
and we love every single one of you.
Only.
That's
That's a
great.
lot.
on Spotify or on Podbean. They had 200 downloads.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
We're a new podcast.
Yeah, we are a new podcast. 200 is pretty good.
We're a new podcast, and we're only going up.
And we're only going up. But anyway, so the graphing calculator. Look at me staying on topic.
Where's the whistle?
It's because Brett and Danny like they're really close. So they work each other up.
It's because we have depression.
Because they had depression.
It's because we have depression.
You get this giant depression hole.
Oh,
and
look
then
at us.
I,
Oh,
Working each other up.
Oh,
Danny,
I'm sorry.
I don't mean to say this, but you.
I'm sorry. I was slipping into the abyss over here.
Wait.
The whistle to keep me out of it.
This little pumpkin in your hair and Danny in the pumpkin.
I'm the little
The
pumpkin.
little pumpkin in your hair.
I'm the little pumpkin of the pod.
Are you going as a pumpkin this year?
I could.
You should.
Ooh,
Have
I
you
should go
ever?
as a pumpkin.
That'd be really
now.
cute.
You've never.
I've
never
always
leaned
been.
in.
I've always been too sensitive about that stuff, but now I feel like I'm a much more secure person.
Oh yeah. You and my sister.
Like
both.
I didn't wear like orange or red or like those types of colors for a while because people would always go, "Hey, it looks like your hair," and it would, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
I'm one of those
Crush you.
people, and
And
I
it would
apologize
crush
about
me.
that. Well, I did that to my sister.
But it
all the time.
wasn't. It
Just
wasn't
jokes.
malicious, but it would be filtered through my insecurities.
I mean, you look like my brother Scott a little bit.
Oh, do you mean that?
How big is Scott's
Cool.
penis?
Get out. Get out.
How big
But if I
is-
was like this big, no.
how big
ew.
is- Wait, Brett's working me up again.
You guys are working each other.
Man, I
out.
loved that.
Anyway, so we were at 2 desks in the very front, and then she said, okay, time to get your calculators. Okay. We used to tally how many times she would say okay, and the person who guessed the most amount of times she said okay would get like a
Oh,
candy.
that's so fun.
So she'd be like, okay, and we'd all be like, okay. And then she was like, okay, time for a test. Come get your graphing calculator. Talks like that. Everybody goes up, gets the calculator, I go up. She puts the calculator in my hands. This is gonna I have something on my brain. The calculator.
What's gonna happen?
The
Get to it.
calculator slips through my hands, hits the desk, hits the floor, and everybody knows that her graphic. She said, "These are my babies." She goes, "Oh!" She really does. She screams like that. She screams.
She sounds like a dinosaur
She's
lady.
like, she literally screaming like that, and then she was like, "Get out in the hall!" Screamed at me in front of the entire class. It made me cry. 8th grade, had to go up to the.
Did the calculator
and then
break?
I didn't get in. No, just scratched. And then I did, but I was embarrassed in
Just
front of the whole
scratched.
class. And then the principal was like, "Yeah, you can't like send her to the office because she accidentally dropped your calculator."
So
And
the
she's like,
principal's
"I
on
couldn't
your
do
side.
whatever." No, the principal always hated me. I was in the principal's office
Mm.
all the time.
You in
yeah,
trouble
you're
a
back
lot?
here.
Yeah, and a couple in school
Brett, you
suspensions.
getting really?
Yeah,
For
and
what?
You got suspended.
talking and laughing and not being able to sit still and being
Yeah,
disruptive.
that's the kind of
Why?
stuff I would get in trouble for
Because
too.
of
ADHD.
depression.
Because I was so depressed.
I was.
And my depression makes me chatty.
Oh,
Yeah, and
boy.
People know that my depression
tell
makes
us your
me
favorite
the
scary
life
story.
of the party.
Favorite scary story?
Yeah.
I got a question about this nun first. You just dropped ex-nun as if plenty of people are nuns in their past.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
many people leave the nunnery. You were an ex-nun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a nunnery is
once
a
they
bad
found
thing
out I
because you,
wasn't
No.
just- you just get to sleep all day and pretend you're praying.
That's
Pretend-
not what most of them
That
do.
is-
And I know they fuck the priests.
Whoa.
Okay, we can't say that.
You
on the
get
Yeah,
it.
we know you. We
We
know what
know.
you're up to.
Hey,
know
we know
Saint
what you're
Abbott-
We
doing.
know what you're up
We
to.
know what you're up to.
All 200 listeners you're going to find out are in a nunnery, and they are going. Also, is nunnery the
imagine?
word?
Nuns have had it too good for too long. Not anymore.
We're calling you
We're
out.
cutting the funding.
Oh, no.
Literal whistleblower on this. It is called a nunnery or convent.
Okay, good. Convent's probably the better
They're
word.
fun as fuck in the Notre Dame campus.
You party with nuns?
You didn't go to Notre Dame.
No, I didn't go to.
Yeah, how do you
I
know
didn't get
this?
into Notre Dame. But what I did
you
do,
apply to Notre Dame?
but I applied to Butler University because
But I didn't get.
one of my great grandfathers was the founder of Butler University, and I did not get in.
My uncle went to Butler. Shout out John Dunn.
Wait, so did my dad, Mark
Really?
Stewart. Maybe they knew each other.
Oh, my
Text him right
uncle
now and ask
went
if he knew
to
John Dunn.
Denison.
What, was he in a frat?
He was on the basketball team, and I think in a fraternity.
Was he in Phi Psi?
I don't know.
That's where my dad was in.
I don't know the houses my uncles were in.
Come
My dad never talks about his frat, and was like, "Talk about your frat." He's like, "No."
You talk about Greek life a lot.
It's upsetting, I guess.
Do you think his frat was pretty dark?
No, I think he just got really drunk all the time.
Oh, so he just
and
doesn't
he was
remember it.
Mr.
got
Butler,
really
which is
dark.
like prom king of college.
That's kind of cool.
Of
I was
What
in
kind of college has a prom?
Well, no, it's just like homecoming king of college.
Oh, okay.
I was runner up. I was Mr. Freshman, and then I went to Mr.
Oh.
BC.
Where'd you go
and I
again?
lost to Boston College.
Shout out Boston College.
Shout out Boston College.
Shout out.
Shout out Gary Goldman.
So they have
went to
nuns
Boston
there.
College.
No, they don't. They have the other the priests.
Priests. The others.
The others.
The others.
Priests. I don't like
Maybe-
that. I don't like that you call priest father, because God's supposed to be father. So why am I calling you father?
It is
Old
weird. I don't
man.
really understand that. Old man.
Oh, you want me to call you father?
We're gonna lose the Catholic
Shut the
followers.
fuck
Just
up,
so you know,
man.
you guys, we're not against the Catholics, but we're also not for the Catholics.
Oh,
but we're not
Um,
against it
I
either.
don't want to align myself with.
Maybe we have Wolf cut this out. Wolf, if you're watching this podcast right now, just cut this.
No,
little-
Wolf, leave it in.
No,
Keep it.
cut-
Especially the part about the nuns.
If talk
Falling
about
asleep. Well, we're waking them up.
This
We're
is-
waking the world up.
this is called cutting the fat. Cut that fat out.
No, this is the best stuff.
That's the best stuff.
This is the best stuff.
Okay, so what is your scary? It might be crazy. I feel
we're
like I'm
doing
sleep
scary
deprived.
story now.
Do you have a scary story?
It's Halloween. It's October.
But I would assume that me getting beat up in an alleyway is
Not
scary
scary
enough.
enough.
That's real life
That's-
scary.
I was
That's the
hoping you
problem.
would wake up in a coma, and then we'd really have a story.
There it is. Yeah,
No.
my story sucks at the
To
end.
be
You know
fair,
what,
you
you-
could still be in the coma.
This is.
Stop.
Who knows?
I'd hope
This
my
could-
brain could have a higher aspirations for me.
I think you could tell any scary story,
Hey.
even if it's
I'm a cloud salesman. I'm just.
a cloud salesman. I'm fucking dead.
Brett also works in tech sales, but
In tax
not
sales?
for long.
Tax sales, yes, I
He
sell
sells
taxes.
taxes. And
That's
people are like,
probably
we
great
don't want,
money.
People are like, we don't want these. They're taxes.
And I go, you got it. Come on,
Uh,
2 for 1.
It could be any scary story, even one that you heard as a child. That you are like not even a
Oh.
child, like if people have told
Oh wait,
you.
I have one.
Oh,
yeah, those are the best
Yeah, you
ones.
get-
I'll
Yeah.
tell, I'll
Oh,
tell
like
one
a
that I
s-
heard secondhand, and you think of one.
Okay, we'll put sound
okay.
sound effects with this. That was thunder and
Is that
lightning.
still the nun freaking out?
That was supposed to be thunder and lightning
The
to intro your
X9.
scary
Oh,
story.
yeah,
that was
it's
oh, I know the
nun.
thunder.
Wolf, put in heavy wind blowing. Wolf, put in rain hitting windows.
The heavy wind blowing is just me breathing really heavy during your story. I'm like,
Wolf, put in a door creaking and slamming back and forth.
all right, what is your story?
I met this guy the other day. I've been asking people since it's Spooktober if
Ooh.
they've seen ghosts or had ghost interactions,
Yeah.
because I've never seen one or had a ghost interaction that I know of. But I met this guy. So I met a guy. I met this guy, and I was like, "Have you ever met a ghost?" And he was like, "Well, my mom passed away when I was really young." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." You know how you say that to people? And he was like, "She passed away when I was really young, and then like once a year or like every once in a while, when I'm like in bed and I'm really tired and there's like a light on or my door's open or something that like I don't want to get up and do because I'm so tired, it'll just shut itself or turn itself off.
No.
Like the light will just turn itself off so he can go to bed, or the door will slowly shut itself." And he said it's happened like 10 times over the last like 8 years.
I feel like he doesn't have to say that's the ghost of his mom.
I was like, "Do you think it's the ghost of your mom?" And he's like, "It seems like it might be."
Well, that's like
What if
very-
he's like, no, I think it's the ghost of Stonewall
Of Charlie
Jackson.
Chaplin.
That's it.
Think
Stonewall
Charlie Chaplin's
Jackson.
doing this.
I think it's
mean,
the ghost
that's-
of Chuck Chaplin.
That's like very like.
No.
I thought it was kind of sweet.
Oh, I just blew a snort.
You guys
Oh,
didn't
is it
seem
kind of like, like I'm honey, you left the door open.
like I'm taking care of you still.
Or honey, I'm.
That's
You
really
guys
cute.
didn't seem to like that story.
Oh, I did. I just thought I did like.
No, it didn't seem like
I-
you liked
I'll
it.
be
And
honest.
now tell me what you didn't like about
I'll tell you right now. There's nothing about his mom that those ghosts like. If he's like every once in a while, I feel like I'm breastfeeding, something like that.
What are
I'd
you
be like,
talking
it. Wait, what?
like I feel like an apparition
fuck
is breastfeeding.
are you
me.
talking?
Every time I'm hungry,
that's,
and I don't want to get up.
Brett
I
Dodson.
feel-
I feel like I'm breastfeeding from an apparition.
I've breastfeed from a ghost, although you probably get some dusty milk.
Okay, I did like the story. Just the reason my face
It
says
didn't
that
seem like
is-
you liked it, and I'm an.
No.
That got me.
The reason I don't like, we should scare one of our guests. Okay, the reason I don't.
I'm a needy little empath. You guys didn't give me good feedback, and it
No,
hurt
I
my
was
feelings.
thinking when you said that, I was thinking about, I was like enjoying it, but and scared. But then I was also thinking about a story of when my friend.
Oh, you were just thinking about something else.
Yeah, of course.
Did you even hear what I said?
Yes.
That happens at our
You're-
meetings
Cool,
too.
whatever.
Your,
Anyway,
your
so-
friend murdered his mom, and then she comes back to watch him.
To haunt him.
Wait, would you
thought
be
he
afraid
murdered him?
if your loved ones like came back to watch you, and if you were just randomly masturbating?
Oh yeah.
Like, get out of here. I'm masturbating.
Your grandpa pops in. He's like, "Hey, oh!"
Sorry, I'll shut the door. That's why he keeps shutting the door.
That's just you're gross.
Because he's trying to jank off, man. Poor guy.
All right, but what about you?
See,
And it could be a tale. Like it
Yeah,
could be
Brett.
like
Yeah,
a
Brett,
scary
top
story
that.
you heard from friends and stuff that have stuck with you.
yeah.
You think you can beat mine?
You got so insecure too. You're like, well, sounds like you didn't.
It just didn't seem like I was like.
Well, there's not much to
and I'm
it.
and I
Someone
just got
closes it.
promoted to co-host, and I'm
Yeah, you're floundering a little bit.
Floundering.
He's fucking floundering.
my aunt would have night terrors. So we were staying with her. Like I'd be in it.
Okay.
I'd be staying with my
Night
aunt.
terrors,
Night
you say.
terrors. And trust me. So I'd be trying to sleep, and I would just hear her running down the hallway going, I've just been stabbed! There's a killer in the house! And I'm like, what the fuck? Aunt Susie! And then I'd have to calm down my aunt.
You've been
Oh,
sitting on this one for 30 minutes.
Well, it got to a point where it was like, all right, she's doing it again. And it was always like, I've just been stabbed. Or I had a dream.
what happens
Oh,
if she actually?
yeah, there's a question about it.
Wait, that's so. What a wild night terror where you're able to get up and physically
And
run.
And it took her like minutes to calm down, and she'd finally be like, okay, I'm going back to bed. And like 10 minutes later, just
I just picture you just peacefully sleeping, then hearing, and then she just goes and starts choking you in your bed.
I've been
Did you guys have a lot of long hallways in this house?
This was a long hallway house, but it was
Where's she running
She's
to?
like losing weight from her night terrors, like running around.
I am in fantastic shape.
it was scary because this house had a lot of drafts. So if you left the door open,
A lot of
it would
fantasy football
slant-
drafts?
We would do a lot of fantasy football. It would have like wind drafts. So if you left the door open, every like 30 minutes, that door would slam shut, like crazy shut. So then it was either that or my aunt would be running around screaming that she's just been murdered.
This is a haunted house.
Wait,
it was a haunted. Well, it was built on
How old
top
were you
of
guys?
a property where a hotel burned down.
Does she have what?
Wait, what?
Does she have any other dreams when she's not at the house, or is it only at the house?
I only stay where they're at that house, but something tells me.
What's with all these ants living in these scary
Is
places?
this a
Scary
symptom
ass.
of sleep apnea?
I didn't diagnose her there.
Okay.
Well, look into that. 'cause-
Yeah,
we'll
hotel
look into
burned
that.
down there.
Maybe she just needs
Well, sleep.
those
the-
masks.
I want to know. People could argue that sleep, night terrors and stuff, is like people think that has something to do with the afterlife or paralyzing fears. Like my cousin, this is so fucking scary.
That was a great story.
That was a great story.
I guess
It
it's
made us
kinda
laugh,
scary.
and it was scary.
I guess it was scary.
It made us laugh. It was great.
Yeah.
Great, Brett. Great job.
It was great. My cousin,
That was
Do more of
That
that.
was really good. Keep doing it.
it was good, but this is gonna be better. So my cousin Cam, I'm just kidding, probably won't. My cousin Cam literally was sleeping, and his brother Trent would have these sleepwalking things, and they're at their lake house. It's like
Audrey really names names on this podcast.
I really do.
well,
We have
no
a segment
one's-
called Name Names.
No one's identity is safe on this podcast.
No, or addresses. I've literally
Audrey said where someone lived on another
Veronica,
episode.
to be exact.
Yeah, she gave Veronica's street address. Her girlfriend's.
Yeah, it was important for the story. So I literally, Cam was like, yeah, I was sleeping one night, and his brother goes to the end. He feels something coming to the end of the bed and just stops. And Cam wakes up, and his brother is just, his head is like cocked, and he's at the end of the bunk bed, and he's just smiling. Just smiling.
That's like that movie that you like that I hate.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol?
Yeah, Snow Dogs.
Snow Dogs.
No,
What
the
movie?
one where
Conjuring. No, Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Yeah, with the mom freaks. You
Oh
see
yeah.
Hereditary?
Oh no, I've seen the
Should
scene.
my scary story just be the plot of Hereditary?
And so then I'm
That's so
driving
fu- I
my
know.
younger sister.
We watched my
I hate
old
that
roommate
movie.
we get so fucked up and
I
rewatched
hate
the
it.
beheading scene
Mi-
on repeat,
Oh
which
my
is
God, it's
weird
so
that we
good.
did that.
It
but-
is spooky.
But then when she makes a little miniature version of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I liked every actor in that movie, but the movie is freaky.
But why does it? What do you think possesses you? Like, why would Trent literally go to the end of Cam's bed and literally cock his head and smile, and then he was asleep? It was confirmed. Like his eyes were open though,
was
but he was
confirmed.
asleep. But it's weird. Like what? It's like evil. Because
there's a
everything.
sinister
feels
aspect.
It's sinister because nothing's ever fun. Like no
Yeah.
one ever has sleep terrors and they're like wow, and then they're twirling.
That is a little scary.
And they're twirling. You know
it's more
what
so
people do when they're having
something
fun.
really scary is happening when it happens.
Yeah.
Always. Why
That
is
is-
that?
I think it's anxiety.
Wait,
but
Or evil spirits. Which who's to say those
but
are
what even
anxiety?
causes the anxiety to go to those
like
places?
why would you do
I
that?
don't know,
Like, what
that's why we need a
even
doctor on the
triggers you-
podcast.
Because some people
like a
who don't even listen to
neurologist.
scary stuff, their minds still go there, which is like why?
But do you
People
think it
love
was
murder
like
mystery? Yeah.
do you think it was like it looks more sinister because it's you're awoken while you're sleeping and it's nighttime?
That's scary.
And it
too.
really was like just a little more like mild mannered of he's sleepwalking,
Like
but it
he's
appears
smizing, yeah.
appears really freaky because of the situation.
Well, then I go back to his aunt saying, "I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed," and I just think
Well,
we don't know
that
what she was going for.
That could
she could have been doing
mean
some fun improv.
I don't know.
She could have been dreaming that she was in an improv
Whoa.
class.
that could mean anything.
I have no. I still can't decipher it to this day.
She-
I've just been murdered.
She was cryptic. She was a cryptic woman.
There's a knife in my leg. That was the great one. She wouldn't get up from the bed, but she wouldn't stop screaming, and we
There's
all
a-
had to run in there.
She said she had a knife in her leg.
She's screaming. There's a knife in her leg.
And this is like
Why are you laughing at this?
And I only stayed with her like a
And-
week a year, and I have tons of these.
This is traumatizing, Brett. Like this
And
is
Brett-
actually really scary.
Brett,
and
why do you think you
traumatizing.
have depression?
I don't know. It's just-
That's like really traumatizing.
Waking up, this reminds me of a kind of scary story. The waking up at the end of someone's bed. At Boston College, where I went to school,
Uh-huh.
Where I
guy
graduated in 4 years.
a guy was sleeping with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend woke up, and his roommate was sucking on the girlfriend's toes. And she looks up, looks down at him, and he goes, "Shh, go back to sleep." And she was like, "I'm so delirious, this can't be happening," and like went back to sleep. And then woke up the next day being like, "I think my toes got sucked by your roommate." And he got, I think he went to a mental institution, but
Wait, really?
yeah.
What?
You say he got killed?
No, he didn't get killed.
You went to a
The
mental
roommate
institute?
went to a mental institution?
Yeah.
That is
And
a
then he
ho-
came back.
That's a horrifying story.
Yeah, it was.
That's scary.
It's a little too scary.
That's the scariest
Wait,
story.
That's
that-
not
wait,
spooky.
Brett, you keep being like, well, I have a little one real quick, and then it just ends up being
I'm gonna
traumatizing
be-
as fuck.
That's one that's gonna upset me for about a week.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you think he's a
The-
cannabis? A cannibal?
Cannabis.
Do you think she's?
He was a massive DHD joint.
Do you think he's cannabis?
Yeah, I think your roommate sucked my toes, and I think that he
I
is a
think he's-
vape.
I think he's a. I think he might be sativa.
It's a large
He's a sativa vape.
hybrid.
That's like creepy.
Do you think
Yeah,
he,
it was
why,
creepy.
That's
scary.
like but see, that's what I'm talking about. Even in the daytime, that's so like that is
In the
that.
Yeah,
deep-
that would be
in the
creepy. That
daytime.
would be creepy.
Wait, I don't feel like he
Anytime.
was sleepwalking.
No, he wasn't. I should get that. I don't think he was sleepwalking.
It sounds like he is a cannibal.
I don't think he was. I don't think it was. He was trying to eat those toes. I think he
I
was.
think it was a fetish.
I think he was kind of a
fetishistic,
pervert.
Maybe.
But sucking on toes?
That's
People are weird.
And
man.
then him
You-
being like, shh, go back to sleep.
no, that's a little creepy.
Now here at No Pill Fridays, we're not kink shamers, but that is.
We're not kink shamers.
Is-
We don't kink shame.
We don't kink shame,
No, we don't kink shame.
but that sounds unconsensual and terrible and creepy.
Yeah.
And if you like getting your toes sucked, do you want to have it done when you're asleep?
And would you do it live on this podcast? Do we
We
need
can-
a volunteer? Well, what?
Oh,
Oh
whose
no!
Hand, whose hand is that?
What is that?
Because for Halloween, we're going to be dressed up as aliens next week.
Sucking on toes.
Sucking on toes.
All dressed as a foot.
Sucking on those
Wait,
terrestrial
Are you
toes.
watching the new American Horror Story?
Nope.
Where
My
literally
mom watched it.
the concept
Should we call
is
your mom? Does she have any
Amelia
spooky stories?
Earhart was abducted by aliens.
Some people think that.
I do.
My mom called me and she goes, "I need 10 minutes of your time." And I go, okay. And she goes, I'm going to explain the new plot of American Horror Story to you. And I go, Mom, I don't want to hear this. And she goes, you've got to hear it. And for 10 minutes long, she just goes through every plot detail.
That is.
I like that she kept it to 10
And
minutes.
She hated it.
She kept her word.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she didn't like
Wait,
it?
I love the first half of it, the black pill.
She's like, it can't get any. I'm sure she mentioned the black pill, but
That was like that because there's two parts: the alien part and then the part where artists are given. This is a question for you since we're all comedians.
okay.
In the concept
With
of
a capital C.
since in American Horror Story, there was a black pill that you could take. Okay.
Now I feel like I'm talking to Brett's mom.
And this black pill. Well, what if I just was
I've
like,
already heard all
surprise.
this. This is it.
Surprise!
I gotta
honey,
finish it.
I'm that sweaty co-host for Halloween. Black pill. And if you take this black pill, you will become a master
I'm so bored.
at your craft. No. Just wait.
I'm so bored.
There's twists.
I know exactly where this
You
is.
become a master at the craft. And if
Okay.
you don't take it,
You're thinking
or-
of the movie Limitless.
and if you do take it too,
If you had
and
original
if
talent.
you don't have talent, you'll turn into a demon. So you're taking and you like will just be forever.
Yeah. So you had to have the natural talent. So it's like I've
so
always
you
wanted
had to be
do this.
honest with yourself
Yeah.
about if you had talent or
And
not?
and not to mention the sacrifice you make, then you have to drink human blood to survive.
That-
And if not,
You
you
become
perish.
a vampire.
So, okay, so let me see if I get this straight.
And why were you bored? Because you know the answer already?
Because I was bored because I don't watch this TV show and you were explaining it to me, and I was like, I
had to
don't
sit through
care.
9 more minutes of that. When my mom was
See,
explaining
that's
it
what
to
I,
me.
see,
Sounds
when you guys talk
brutal.
about the X-Men, I was like,
And I even know what happens.
And we talked about the X-Men at nauseum. Okay, I am more interested than I thought I'd be.
okay.
So you have to take there's a pill that's offered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to become a master at your craft,
Yeah.
and if you take it, and if it is confirmed that you have talent at that,
You'll
you'll
be-
become a master.
Yeah, you'll be like guaranteed fame.
Best chef in the
guaranteed-
world.
You'll
So-
guaranteed like everything you've like money doing your craft. Like you'll make millions doing
So
your craft.
you're saying like I want to be a great chef. If I believe I have natural talent at cooking, I'm going to take this pill and then I'll become a master chef.
But you-
Or if I'm wrong and I'm being disillusioned with myself,
Yeah.
I will become a blood-sucking demon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no matter even if you're talented, you still
Do you have to
drink the
say
blood.
the name of your craft? Before
Oh,
you
no
take the
matter
pill?
what,
No,
you
no,
become
no, no matter what. So if you're not talented, you don't have brain. Like all your brain disappears, and you just become like a zombie.
Okay, so
But
what
if
do
you
you
do have talent, you
what do
still
you-
have to drink human blood. So do you just not take it, or do you take it and risk
Being a full-on zombie.
risk two different things?
I'm not taking that. If you're asking me if I'm going to take that pill, no.
I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
Why
Why
are you
not?
guys taking that pill?
Oh, because so I become the best fucking.
I went
at
to
my
wo-
craft.
I went to work hard to become a master of my craft. Well, you guys, this is like the plot of Click when he skips to the end. You guys just want to skip to being the master. Guess what happens at the end of Click? He dies,
Yeah.
unhappy and alone.
Well,
Well, there goes that
It'd be
movie for
Sorry
everybody.
to spoil the ending of Click.
Ah,
But
we've
well,
now
there goes
spoiled
that.
American Horror Story.
then it's all a dream. But
Um,
I would like to work hard to become a master of my craft. And you guys are just I want to take this evil black pill.
Wolf, would you take a black pill if it meant would you take a black pill if it meant you would be the best at your craft? But the downside of it is you would have to drink human blood.
Or if you weren't good at your craft to begin with, you just become a
A
blood
zombie.
sucking
If you were
zombie.
wrong about having talent.
We just created the scenario. We've never heard it.
Yeah. It should be on.
Yeah, see? And then you just drink human blood. You
But
can just
the
go to the
other option-
hospitals
the
and
other
suck
option
that
is not
sucker
taking
down.
the pill.
Exactly.
No.
Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, but you only live once, and you have to survive on human blood.
You
Whatever.
can survive on human
I
blood.
don't want to do that. Where am I going to find human blood?
Red-
Oh, literally,
Cross?
people's Red Cross. Exactly. Wolf,
Cross.
Red. Gr-
I appreciate
Where are you
that.
finding? You're sitting next to
Get a
two
job at the
human
Red
blood
Cross.
people.
Yeah.
Human.
Oh, so you're saying that
Too
you think
old.
you're talented?
Oh, I know I'm talented.
I believe you're talented.
Maybe I'd
Talented?
take it for something else.
But then I'm worried. Am I talented?
Do you have to say what the craft is before you take the pill? How does the pill know
No, you
which
just-
craft it is?
Oh, because you wouldn't take it if you didn't know what your craft was. That'd be preposterous.
So you can't just pop the pill and be like,
Preposterous.
I'll find out whether or not I have anything worth
yeah,
a damn.
no, I think you have to be passionate about
So
something.
you gotta be like a violinist. So the daughter ends up taking it. And
Yeah.
She's good at violin.
Yeah.
The mom takes
Guys,
it,
I
and
don't
she's an
care.
interior designer.
And then she just starts throwing sticks in circles, and her brain shits
the
out.
dad's a screenwriter. He takes it. And
Talented?
He sells a bunch of movies, and then it doesn't end well for him.
Oh, okay. So he does.
Spoiler alert.
I remember my mom did a pretty good job.
This is very good.
Wait, we
lasting
can't talk
impact.
about Seaburg 'cause I feel like people want to watch it.
Yeah.
We just made that up.
We just made that up.
There's a heavy overlap with No Pill Friday listeners and American Horror Story viewers.
And nuns.
And nuns.
And a big Venn diagram.
Wait, did he say we have 10 minutes left?
20.
Oh.
We already
cool.
lost all our Catholic Church audience
So we might as well keep going with some more scary stories.
when Audrey declared war on the Catholic Church.
I actually do not mean to do that. I'm confirmed and baptized.
I
didn't have a choice to be confirmed or baptized, though. Hello.
Did you get baptized as a child or in adulthood?
An infant.
Infant.
did.
Oh, yeah.
As an infant.
Popped out of that pussy. And then got in that
Into
chrism.
Landed in the holy water,
And
I
then got
did.
in that chrism, bitch.
Were you
Okay.
baptized?
Baptized.
It's not good. I don't know if I was baptized.
Well, you better figure out before I stab you.
I had to go through confirmation in like 6th grade, and I was rebaptized.
So okay.
All right. What if I just pull out a knife?
And
Just kill
stabbed
me
us. That'd
before
be
I
so
got
spooky.
baptized.
Wait, our podcast would get so much pub if you stabbed us on air.
That's
Wait,
what I
that'll be
always was
good.
thinking.
You can
That'll
stab
be
me.
good.
Oh, stab me.
Dan, is there any story too that you thought of that like someone told you? You know when?
Oh wait, I have a great one about this guy and his mom. Do you want me to tell it really, really slowly and with excruciating detail?
No.
The payoff is there though.
They're
Trust
literally.
me.
Every
you guys
once in a
ever-
while.
Trust me, I'm working up to
Alexa
some-
will automatically
I'm-
turn off his lights.
Do you remember
But
at
it's his mom.
sleepovers or whatever, we'd just be sitting there and someone would tell a story and it would be like so alarming, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
No,
like, or at
I really,
campfires.
Yeah,
I really
can't
veered
watch
away from anything scary because I had such anxiety as a child about like that kind of thing, and now I don't. But at the time, I watched Bloody
love that
Mary
too
as a
Ooh, that
5th
was
grader,
scary.
and it scared me for about a
It's
decade.
actually pretty scary.
Yeah.
I watched it
The
wh-
Ring was mine.
The
Yeah.
Ring was actually really.
I
Scary.
watched
Those
one
were all
scary
really.
movie way
those
too
were actually
young.
very all
The-
very alarming.
I had to do a project on The Ring for a class in college.
What?
Couldn't watch it. I watched clips on YouTube until I could write the paper.
I'm
Did you
dead.
choose The Ring?
No, we had to, because it's based on a Japanese thing, and you had to do a comparison about the Japanese movie and the American version.
Wait, that's kind of harsh that they. Wait, I think we were probably in this. What class was this?
Were we in the same class and didn't know it? I don't remember.
No, we.
Do you remember the name of your classes?
Children of the Media.
Children of the Media.
Sex in the Media.
The class could not have been called
Children and the Media.
Children of the
No,
Media.
children in the media.
It's all about famous journalist children. Walter Cronkite's son.
It's a little
What's
bit
he up to?
how
What's
the
he
media,
doing? I
how the
don't know.
media, how the media
Not
affects
much.
children.
A whole
Anderson
lot.
Cooper's got a son on the way, huh?
All right, I got
Okay.
one.
Real-time events.
And can you name him on this test?
I got one.
What's his
I got
name?
one, too. You
Okay,
go.
good.
No,
you go. You're a guest. You go
You-
first.
no.
You fucking.
This is a
go first.
personal one.
Okay.
All right, we had my little brother was obsessed with SpongeBob, and we had a cookie jar of SpongeBob, and you could open up his little Krabby Patty hat.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
his head would open, but he would say a saying.
He would say.
So he'd go, the Krusty Krab pizza, and he'd do that whole thing. Or he'd say, like, it's also good. And he had a couple of those.
Okay.
All right. So far,
Okay.
so scary.
Not scary yet. So we get older. That thing makes it.
So it all changed.
So,
And
we'll
then
5
that's it.
years
We'll put
later.
in some
we
whistling
grow up,
when we get
and
older.
then we fucking grow up.
that thing's
Everything's scary when you're older.
been, yeah. No.
Things
Not
are
really.
scary when you're older.
Actual things become scary. What a blessing it is to be scared by the supernatural.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
when you become an adult,
It's
I'm
true.
afraid of like. Welcome to the pod, bro. Okay, so the Krusty Krab pizza.
Makes it to the attic. The attic, this is what I hated about my house. The attic was in my room. So you pulled it down and you go up the ladder to the attic.
Those are creepy attics.
Yeah, and it's in my room. So I
Home
was
Alone
always
attic.
worried someone was going to come out of the attic. Not only that, I'm in a bunk bed.
Oh, it was
So-
in your bedroom?
Yeah, it was in my bedroom. So I'm a foot from the attic in my bunk bed. One day, that thing's been up there for 5 years. 5 years.
No, it
I'm trying to
starts
go to
talking to you.
sleep.
No.
Next thing I hear, that felt great. I feel empowered in SpongeBob's voice.
No.
That was it. But why did it go off after
And have
5
you ever heard
years?
that? That's not a phrase I heard you say in the week before.
No.
That's not part of the phrases, is it?
Was that one of the phrases?
It
he
was
does?
one of the phrases.
Okay.
That would have
I thought he was ad-libbing. SpongeBob's
Wait,
I
that's-
improvising.
saved the phrase. I saved the phrase for
Did you
good
did you go up there and check on it?
No, I freaked the shit. Yeah.
SpongeBob's
I freaked
improvising
out
in the attic.
So badly.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying.
That's
Yeah.
like what would trigger that 5
yeah,
years
after
later?
5 years.
Someone opened his head. And what was in there?
Who was it?
And who opened his head?
That
Like,
re-
it was
that
like,
That
guy's
reminds
mom.
me. And that guy's mom.
Looking for cookies.
wait, that's really that's like Furbies, right?
I
There's like
wonder
a
if
lot
it's
of
like-
alarming stories about Furbies.
Really? You got one?
No, but I've like heard.
No.
Your story reminds me of when I was at the airport one time.
Spooky.
Oh, LAX,
Ghost
horrifying.
fly planes have been known to fly.
Wait, really?
Yes, we we were at the airport. And we brought electronic catchphrase.
Yeah.
The one that has the
yeah.
the timer on it.
Is there an electronic catchphrase?
It's a sundial, and you have to play outside.
I'm
It is an arduous game.
Stop.
It is.
I would hate- I
It's
would
tough
hate
to know when to
A
stop.
sundial game. I'm dead.
So we were at the airport and we had catchphrase in our carry-on, and someone bumped into our bag, and the timer started going off and started going beep 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 in our luggage at the airport.
No.
Guys,
Stop.
not much of a spook fest, but boy was it scary.
Wait, was security freaking out?
Did anyone
We were
freak out?
freaking out. We were like by the Wolfgang Puck, and we were just digging in our
By
bags.
the Wolfgang.
Because you're afraid someone's gonna be like, "What is that?"
Well, yeah, of
But
course.
do you think if you were
Frantically.
making a bomb, you would add that feature?
You would.
Like
That
the,
is
the
the
comical, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
No way.
No way. You'd be like,
This will
uh-oh.
go off
I
in
have a
10
bomb.
Did you guys
seconds.
see that we had a threat? My bag went through security and the whole system shut down.
Yeah, what happened?
What?
there?
Why?
Yeah, did you see my Instagram
Was there
story?
a
Yeah,
ghost
what
in there?
happened?
Ghost in your bag.
No one knows, and it was they called
Nobody
like
knows?
a
No one
No
knows.
one
they called
knows.
a code, and they were like, and then I was concerned because I honestly think I literally felt nothing, no fear, nothing, and I was like,
I felt no fear.
felt-
Maybe you
No,
have
the whole-
depression. You felt
Yeah.
nothing.
maybe
You felt nothing.
the power
Absolutely.
went out, and like alarm like thing started sounding, and then all the guards like were doing this, and they called a code something, and then like everything stopped, and everybody was like looking, and I was just like, I don't know what I had in my bag, but I was like, I swear to God,
I
was
swear
like,
to God.
I have a chia straightener. I was like, did that react to the system? They were like not even answering me because they were just like, who's this bitch? But it ended up being fine. They never told us what it was. We went on our merry way about 15 minutes later.
She never even figured it out.
Now talk about a story with payoff.
Talk about, you know what I would love to have on the pod as a flight
What
attendant?
was in my trunk?
I
I'd
would-
have a flight attendant.
I
on
would
what
love
you
to hear
say.
the crazy stories on flights because I've heard some crazy shit.
Like scary?
Yes, like scary.
What do
like
you mean
or-
scary? A
like-
ghost
You ever
on a
heard of the
plane?
Bermuda Triangle?
Well, sometimes they like. Apparently, there's like engine
Have you
failures,
ever been to
and
the
like, they
Bermuda
don't
Triangle?
tell anybody. And
Wait.
we land safely, but we have no idea that they were like afraid that we were gonna. Or I know this flight attendant that used to fly during the.
I've never seen a
storm.
ghost
the
plane
JetBlue
movie.
flight.
What happened to JetBlue?
So the
flight?
JetBlue flight, you know, the Jet. They're in like
We're sponsored by
2006.
JetBlue.
Oh, yes,
JetBlue
of
was, like,
course.
they had the video where you could watch live television, and these people, their landing gear wouldn't come out of their plane, and the pilot didn't say, "Hey, we're having trouble, so we're gonna have to like figure out how to get the tires out because like their wheel came out sideways."
No.
But news reports started coming out, and they saw live footage of their own plane
No.
with gear.
No.
So they're all watching on their TV.
No.
Yeah, that their plane may crash, and like the airline didn't tell them. Which, to be honest, for the best. You don't want your whole cockpit
No.
freaking out.
No.
But you also got to
But
shut
who
off
got a
the
hold of the
TV.
live footage? How
Yeah,
did they
who
get a
was
hold of
doing
that?
that?
They're watching on like CNN and like
Wait,
I think
but
fighter
where?
jets.
Are they showing it in the plane?
Yeah, they're showing it in like on the TVs.
Why
yeah.
are they doing that?
Well,
Because
because you have your channels.
It had a CNN
Oh.
stream.
So everyone's like tuned into CNN, and then they're all watching.
Isn't it funny that you'd be so locked into the TV screen instead of like
Yeah.
it's like when you're at a
Wait,
concert
so was it
and
a
you're looking
fluke
at the
that
TV.
one random person was watching CNN and saw that and they're like, hey,
Well,
everybody,
there's-
tune into CNN?
It was only like I'm sure there was like 13 channels.
Wait,
Yeah.
It would
fuck?
suck too if one of the guys was like running ahead,
And there's
and
one
you see the plane crash.
and he
Wait,
knows.
that's us.
He knows before everyone
yeah.
else.
Why are you freaking
Wait,
out,
so
man?
Wait,
What?
so were they screaming and
Yeah,
shit?
everyone's freaking out. But the thing is, it wasn't even.
And there's
like,
one guy watching episodes of Ted Lasso.
yeah, guys.
With his headphones in, he has no idea everyone's even
He's like,
freaking
this
out
show
around him.
is hilarious.
He's like
goodness.
laughing and everyone's like,
Where did they come up with this stuff? Shout out Ted Lasso.
So but it wasn't even that big of a like. Apparently that happens like.
wait, so
not
how did
that-
they land? Just regularly?
They landed and like the tire popped off, but they like
Skidded?
Yeah, and it was fine. Their back wheels worked.
Back wheels.
It wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Audrey, what are you doing over there with those magnets?
Oh, well, these are just like fun toys that help me pay attention. When I can move my hands, I can listen more.
Have you seen one of those pens for people with ADHD that it's got like it's got like little balls
Yeah.
and bells and whistles on it?
It's the, yeah, and then are you talking about the marble mash?
The one where it's got like things you can spin and
Oh,
twist.
yeah,
and,
Yeah,
like,
like a
yeah.
little cube sometimes. Too.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are over distracting. You have to hit,
Like
you have to hit
fidget
it
spinners?
just right. Yeah, fidget spinners are way too distracting. This is just right.
This is just
That's
right.
good. That's what you need.
Yeah.
What would be a little tool you had for depression?
That's a good
a
question.
magic
Just a
8
little
ball that
prick
you
that
keep
just-
shaking, hoping for
You
the
click a
best?
button and
Yeah, I
says,
keep pricking
"You
myself.
should stay alive.
Stay alive.
You are."
It's an
wor-
8 ball. You just shake it. It's like, come on, you got this.
You should stay alive.
It gets better.
Keep trying. Probably. It probably gets better. It gets
If
better.
you shake it enough, it's fine.
It
All right.
absolutely gets better.
I don't mean to yawn to you. I was talking about depression. That was awful of me. Shout out to Poncho's Comedy Night doing karaoke till 2 a.m.
It gets better.
You did karaoke till 2 last night?
Sober.
Audrey,
too.
will you sing?
Sober.
Will you sing something for us?
You can go to my YouTube channel if you want that.
Audrey, sing a little
Just
bit.
kidding. I have nothing of me singing.
You love
on
singing.
my-
Sing something.
I can't.
Sing Rolling in the
Come
Deep.
I don't want to.
There's a
Oh.
fire.
Oh, my
Monster
story.
Mash.
Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. What if I was a screamo? What if you found out I was screamo? Here's my
It
story.
wouldn't surprise me.
We'll end on this. You
We
guys
have,
are a bunch of
we have-
baby bat.
We have 8 minutes.
So it all started.
8-minute long story.
So it all started. There was a babysitter, as we always are, as I am, as Brett.
Wait,
Dodenhoff is.
You ever babysat anyone?
No, I've been babysat, and my babysitter refused to see me
Oh.
naked,
Oh.
so she made me
What?
bathe in my pajamas, full-on pajamas.
Wait, that's like Brett. That's really scarring, man. Like you're saying really, Brett, you're saying really concerning things. Every time you've told a story, it's been very traumatic and concerning, and no wonder you have depression. That is really weird.
I was. She was like told that she
Oh.
had to bathe me. I was probably like 4 or 5.
When you
like
said
way
my-
pre. It's not like I was like 15.
When you said my babysitter refused to see me naked, I was kind of on the babysitter side.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
but it was like
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
not-
know why
that's
she was in charge
traumatizing.
of bathing me.
So
but
you were
What did your
you're
parents say
a
about that?
4-year-old.
well, I don't know if I told him. I think it was like between me and my babysitter.
You're like, it just came out right now.
Yeah, I just. It's one of those I look back on, and I was like, I'll never forget getting into the bathtub and crying because my thick pajama wool pants are getting soaked. And then I got out, and I'm in wet pajama. Like, it made no sense. Was she that afraid to see a 4-year-old naked?
Why couldn't
And
you,
why bathe me?
Why couldn't she put you in a bathing suit?
There's so many other options.
Right, I just am not over you. Just I think it's supposed to be the most casual, chill comment. It's so fucking traumatizing.
You have a lot of traumatizing bath related
Yeah,
stories.
you're
My babysitters were interesting people.
what were your other ones like?
My mom found pornography on our main computer for one.
Wait,
From one of your babysitters?
What?
Yeah, our neighbor. I won't say his name.
not like child porn.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
thank God.
But it
He
was
was just looking at pornography while he was
I
also
think he was
babysitting.
looking up, like, yeah, like we could probably put us to bed and go on our like old Dell, and that's back when like if you were going on porno sites, that's a risk there with viruses.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there's a risk with, I don't know, the fact that he's looking up
You're-
while babysitting.
Wait, that's so fucked
That he's
up.
all horned up.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
He sounds like a perv.
He wasn't. He was just a horny teen.
Oh.
You know,
You know the type.
which is probably qualifies as a perv. I think there's a lot
Yeah,
of overlap.
That's
Brett,
upsetting.
are you okay?
No, but this has been therapeutic.
Well, I
Anyway.
was just gonna dive into a scary story and then
You
Brett
got
goes-
7 minutes.
Speaking of
We
babysitters,
have exactly 5 minutes.
I hope this is a good closer. So, anyways, this babysitter, she's babysitting.
Oh, this is a real story?
This was
Is this a story that happened to you?
no. So the babysitter is babysitting, and she is babysitting twins. Okay, and it's storming. It's as it always is at these stories, and they have a dog, and there's a dog that is really cute. Whatever. The parents were like, "Hey, we're going overnight, so you just have to spend the night with the twins." Whatever. She's like, "Cool. See you in the morning." So she puts the twins to sleep, and then she's in her room, and she goes to bed, and she starts feeling the dog liquor. Like her hand is down, and she's feeling the dog liquor, because the dog sleeps right by the bed.
Oh no!
And
I
so
know
she's-
where this is going.
So she's in that, and then all of a sudden she hears from the bathroom, drip, drip, drip.
Someone saying drip?
Yeah, it is.
Drip!
It's like
Drip?
It's like Drake. He's like drip, 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 and then she feels the dog liquor again. She's like, okay, it's probably just the faucet, whatever. Falls back to sleep, and the dripping gets more louder, like
Drip.
aggressive.
Drip.
Like, drip. And then she feels the dog lick her again. She's like, okay, whatever.
Why is her hand
You know what?
dangling?
Now I have to go check on it. And she gets up and checks on it. And hanging in the bathroom is the dog in the mirror.
Why are you laughing?
This part's always funny. This part's always hilarious.
This verse always cracks me up.
They give you a little comedic break before the storm.
It says,
The dog's
in the
doing
dog's
5
blood
minutes
on
on
the mirror,
airplane food.
humans can lick too.
Well,
That's not a real story.
No, but I said you could tell stories that you literally heard, and it like I was at camp and I was 9 years old, and someone goes, "Oh, I got a story," and they're like, "Drip, drip," and in my head, sometimes when I'm in my bed, I just like wait for the lick.
So the drip was the bloody dog, and the licking was the twin.
Oh,
Lincoln was a ghost or a murderer?
a murder because twins were stabbed.
Oh, the twins?
Kidding. I just added that in.
See, what I
Way,
thought was
to punch up the story. Also, the twins were murdered.
What a wild way to
oh
end
wow.
the
were the twins the one licking her?
Oh, that's a better way to tell it.
I thought this was gonna be
Why would the twins be looking at her?
because that's what I thought
It's
was scary.
scarier if it's
So
Twins.
why
It's
was
scary as a murder.
why was
I
his
agree.
friend in
Kids killing-
college
But
licking
why
the
introduce
person's toes?
Because he's a pervert. The kids killing the
Well,
dog
kids
is
are
kind of
perverts.
is scary. The little
Yeah,
kids
it's-
are fucking perverts.
But that was the one story that stuck out to me as like an 8-year-old that I heard.
I still don't get why there's twins introduced. It doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
it's a red herring.
Yeah, it makes
The
no sense.
twins were an unnecessary part
Brett,
of the story.
it's a misdirect.
It was twins.
It was to distract you.
Because when you said
from
that, I
the-
instantly thought, okay, the twin is licking. One of the twins hung the dog. The other.
Well, the other licked. And they usually switch off. You want to be the licker. You don't want to be
This
the
is
dog.
a wild way to end the podcast, and Wolf literally just came back in to hear the last part
Well,
of this story.
Trust me, if you were here for the setup, it still doesn't make sense.
it is.
Yeah, Wolf's like, I'll be the judge of that.
Well, this has been great. Guys, you can find Brett on Instagram at Brett the Lorax. He's a very funny stand-up comedian who performs all over
And he's
Los Angeles.
Follow him on TikTok because he's viral. He's famous on
He's
TikTok.
famous on TikTok. Brett, do you want to plug your podcast?
Oh, I got a podcast coming out called "From Lust to Dust." My horny dead dad, and it's about
Wait, what?
my dad.
This is
My
a real.
dad
This is a real project.
died
It's
and
gonna-
was writing a book about all the women he slept with after his divorce, and we have that book before it was published. And
Wait, are you serious?
yeah, so we're going.
Wait, is
through
that
reading-
real?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so we're reading it and going through it.
He's
Sorry
doing-
about your dad. Wait, that was recent, right?
It was like 2014, so we're good.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Thank
good.
God.
Great.
Woo!
Wait, that's amazing.
But we're reading it.
Brett's-
Coming out soon.
Brett's doing it with one of his brothers. It's really, really funny, and I cannot wait for it to come
Wait,
out.
I can't wait to listen. That's a great. You're just literally reading the stories of all the women
We're
you
re-
slept with.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good book.
Is he a good writer?
He's actually a good writer. He goes into a lot of graphic detail though.
Well, it's like porn.
Is it weird?
There's pornographic elements.
Is it weird for you to hear about your dad's sex life?
It was always.
Oh, wait,
in
I
the
guess I
open.
didn't think-
He was always.
Are you gonna read when you're gonna be like, and then my dad stuck it? Okay.
Is it that? Does it get there?
It starts with him going down on a woman, and it
From Lust to Dust,
From
My
My
Horny
Horny
Dead
Dead
Dad
Dad.
is my favorite
That
title
is so fucking wild.
I've ever heard. It's on
It's
Bespoke.
crazy.
It's on the
I
Bespoke
could see that
Network.
just being a national seller.
we'll see.
And
He wanted the
Nationals.
book
Well, there you
published,
have it,
so
you
there we
guys.
go.
Brett
Maybe we'll do
Dodenhoff.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank
you,
you.
Danny.
Thank you. Wait, that's what radio stations
Thank you
do.
guys
Thank
for
you for this
having
show.
me.
Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
show. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
The
show.
two co-hosts. I was
Thank
the
you for the
pilot
show.
run with
Well,
co-hosts.
thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank
How
you.
did you? Yeah, how did you think I did on my first co-host
That was
episode?
great.
Yeah, you're demoted.
Back down, sir.
Thank you.
That was
Promote
so
me.
wild.
I called Audrey my boss when we were at lunch, and she got mad at me.
I've
said,
been
"I'm
no
not-
one's boss
She
ever.
said, "I've never been your boss."
Is that how you became?
I've
the
never been
co-host?
anyone's
And I
boss.
was
You
like-
bullied her into calling. You make it.
Yeah.
Whose
I was-
boss would I ever be?
I was joking, and she got mad at me.
I know. This
That's
is
fair.
weird.
She's so sensitive.
I am very sensitive.
So am I. It's
Are
okay.
we still rolling?
Well,
I just start stabbing Brett.
should we say our famous
the twins walking.
closeout?
What?
Should we say our famous closeout?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, do you want to lick my fingers before we
Yeah,
close?
would
Okay,
you
our
mind?
famous closeout together.
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Yay!
That's it.
That's it.
It feels good to be me. Every time I breathe, everywhere I go, and I always know that